So there are 6 different digestive processes. Each one of these 6 processes has what is known as a binary, 2 different ways that it can express. For now, let's look at the 6 different processes. These processes move in an evolutionary pattern, which is to say that when we begin with color 1 of 6, this is the least evolved, the most primitive in terms of its function. Very important to put a point on that. We're not talking about one being better than another. We're really speaking in terms of function here. And so the color 1 is known as the appetite digestive process, or the caveman digestive process. And this is about taking in one thing at a time. Plenty to discuss on that, but we should move on. One thing at a time. Color 2. Color 2 is a specialized digestive process. This is often jokingly referred to as a picketarian. These people are designed to be picky, and their personal preferences actually guide them to those very specific food sources that are correct for them. They'll often have what is known as a desert island list of foods, a very, very small list of foods that are always going to be a yes for them. Most foods are going to be disqualified. And that's totally personal, which makes that one really, really unique. If you have a color 2 digestive type, there's nothing I or anyone else can tell you about what your list looks like. All we can do is help you to begin understanding how to identify that list for yourself, right? So that's a very personal process. Color 3, the 3rd level, is yours. And this has to do with heat, temperature. Your digestive process is either generating too much heat and so needs to be regulated through cold foods, or it's not generating enough heat, not feet, and so needs to be regulated by hot foods. Color 4 is, this is known as a touch type. It's about the environment. So the first 3 levels are very specific. They're very like internal. They're about your relationship to the food itself. But when we get to the 4th, 5th, and 6th levels, there's a sophistication that begins to build into the digestive process as your metabolic process actually incorporates more information. Now, it's not just about what's on the plate in front of you and its temperature. It's about the room you're in. And so color 4 is very much about the quality of energy in the room around you, whether it's calm or nervous. It's remarkable. And so we begin to get a sense for ourselves as so much more than what we can see bound by skin, right? We reach out to extend beyond that. We are big bubbles of energy, and we're engaging with information, a lot more information than we could ever begin to calculate. So that's color 4. Color 5 is about sound. So now, where color 4 was focused on the general energy or aura of the space around you, color 5 is about the acoustic quality of the space around you. And so you're either going to need what is known as high sound or low sound. And again, that's another discussion to understand what that means, whether it's dealing with volume or frequency, but it's about the acoustic frequency of the space around you. And you can see that the subtlety of information, energetic information that the body is engaging with here is becoming more and more refined until we arrive at the 6th level, color 6, which is dealing with the light band, light frequency band. So this is a body that is going to be, it's the most sensitive, the most sophisticated in terms of the way that it is being impacted by the information in the space around it. So the difference between that person and me, for instance, is dramatic. You know, my body is sensitive, but it's focused in terms of what it's sensitive to. Whereas someone who's a 6th level body type, their sensitivity is diffuse. They're taking in information on such a subtle level that they're probably not consciously aware of what's happening, but they are absolutely going to be physically aware of it because their body, more than any other, is kind of going to be shut down when those frequencies are not aligned. So that person is either going to benefit from being under a direct source of light, ideally the sun, or they're going to benefit from not being under a direct source of light, from having disconnection from a direct light source. So again, there's a lot of detail to go into on each of these, but that's the summary on the 6 types.